If you're an actor and you don't have an agent, you may be wondering how and where to find auditions. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you 4 ways to get auditions without an agent. And we're not talking about being an extra, we're talking about auditions for speaking roles. So if this is something that you're interested in, let's get started right now. What's up, my fellow actors? Welcome to the Acting Career Center, here to help you learn the skills you need to break into the film and television industry. My name is Kurt Yu. Thank you so much for spending some time here with me today. If this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe to this channel to get more videos on acting, auditioning, and career advice every single week. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to find auditions without an agent. And not just one way, 4 different ways to get auditions without an agent. And even when you do get an agent in the future, you can continue to use these strategies to get even more auditions than what your agent will be sending you. I still use some of these methods myself. Now, you can use these methods to find auditions for all kinds of opportunities, including movies and TV shows and commercials and theater. In fact, let me know down in the comments which one you are most interested in. Is it movies? Is it television? Is it commercials or theater? I'd love to know what your acting goals are. Alright, let's talk about these 4 different ways to find auditions without an agent. The first way is to look in your local acting Facebook groups. Did you know that just about every major city has a Facebook group or multiple Facebook groups dedicated to actors and filmmaking? All you have to do is go onto Facebook and search for your city plus the word actors or filmmaking. So, for example, let's say you live in Kansas City. People in Kansas City right now are like, how did you know, you sorcerer? So let's say you live in Kansas City. You would go onto Facebook and you would search for Kansas City actors. And then you would tell Facebook that you are searching for groups, and then the results will be all the groups associated with acting and filmmaking in Kansas City. Now, if you live in a small town, you may not be able to find Facebook groups for your particular town, and in those cases, I would recommend searching for the nearest big city or for your state. So once you join these groups, you can start looking for audition opportunities or casting calls in your area. Now, another huge benefit to being in these local Facebook groups is that you can get information about your specific city. A lot of people will ask me on this YouTube channel, hey, what's the best agent in Phoenix? Or who are the best acting teachers in Baltimore? Unfortunately, I can't answer those questions because I've never lived in those locations. But if you're in one of these local Facebook groups, the people there can probably answer those types of questions for you. So search for those groups, join them, introduce yourself, and keep an eye out for casting calls and audition opportunities in your area. The second way to find auditions without an agent is to follow agents and casting directors on social media. Follow them on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you can find them. Just follow them. Now, the goal here isn't to follow them and then DM them all the time about, hey, give me some auditions. No, all you have to do is follow them and then watch for what they are posting. Because every once in a while, agents and casting directors will be having trouble finding the right actor to fill a specific role for a project. And in those instances, they will post publicly on social media searching for the actors, making it basically a public casting call. Now, this doesn't happen every day or even every week, but I would say once or twice a month, I see agents and casting directors posting things like this on social media. A lot of times they'll be looking for someone who has a specific skill, like someone who can backflip on a snowboard or someone who can play Mozart on the violin. Or they'll be looking for a very specific type, like people over 7 feet tall, or people with neck tattoos, or people who like to wear purple suits and have a tiny dog. So if you happen to have the skill or the characteristic that they are looking for, then now is your opportunity to submit for this audition. If you're getting value out of this video, then do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. Now, before we move on to the last 2 ways to find auditions without an agent, let me remind you that when you do get an audition, you better know how to prepare for it and how to deliver a memorable performance. Now, if you're interested in learning about how I prepare for my auditions, then I've created a free audition cheat sheet that's basically the 10-step audition preparation process that I use personally for my auditions. You can download the free cheat sheet by going to that link right there. The third way to find auditions without an agent is to browse public casting websites. Now, in North America, the 3 most commonly used casting websites are Actors Access, Casting Networks, and Backstage. If you live outside of North America, I don't know what casting websites are used in every other country, so you'll have to do your own research. A great place to ask that question is to use those Facebook groups that we talked about. You can also ask other actors and your acting teachers what are the websites that are used in your region. As for Actors Access, Casting Networks, and Backstage, these three websites have their differences for sure, but in general, they all allow you to do the same thing, which is create a casting profile, including your headshot and your information, and then start browsing the public casting boards for roles that fit you. You can even create email notifications so that you will be sent an email every time a new role is posted that fits you specifically. I've put links to all three of these websites down in the description. The fourth way to find auditions without an agent is to attend casting director workshops and classes. Many casting directors will hold workshops and classes to teach actors about the audition process and the skills they need to stand out in the audition room. Many of these workshops will give the attendees the opportunity to perform a mock audition for the casting director and get feedback. Now, if you do a great job with this mock audition and the casting director is impressed by your work in the class, they might make a mental note, and the next time that they get a role that fits you, they could call you in for an audition even though you don't have an agent. I know many actors who have gotten auditions in this way. So if you are already following casting directors on social media like we talked about before, then also keep an eye out for when they might be having classes or workshops. Okay, those were my tips on how to find auditions without an agent. Now, the last thing I want to mention is that the vast majority of auditions are self-taped these days, which means casting directors will ask you to record your auditions at home and then send it to them. Now, if you're interested in learning how to self-tape auditions at home, I've created multiple videos about that topic that you can watch by going to that playlist right there. All right, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe if you haven't already. And leave me a comment down below if you have any questions. All right, until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and I hope to see you on set one day.